friends, and welcome back to my channel. Oh, hello Cleo, you wanna say hi? Hello baby, hello. I know, you don't like being held. So, on Saturday this week, so tomorrow when this video is coming out, I am going on holiday for 2 weeks. I'm very excited for it. This has been a long-awaited holiday. It got postponed twice because of COVID in 2020 and 2021. So now that it's 2022, finally going on our 2-week South of France holiday vacation, which I'm very, very, very excited about. But one thing that's less ideal is when you go away and have 150 houseplants, you need to make sure that they're in a good spot before you leave. And there are some things that you can do to make that happen. So I figured, as I'm prepping for my holiday this week, I would take you all along with me on everything I'm doing, showing you my sort of prepping for holiday process. If you don't know me already, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet, so if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. Right, let's get into the holiday prep. So today is Monday and I'm actually going to be starting my holiday prep today with some repotting. And I know it seems a little bit sketchy to be repotting plants just before I leave in case they don't do well, but that's exactly why I'm starting today rather than later this week, because I want to be able to monitor them throughout this week and make sure they're doing okay. So I have a few different propagations in moss that live outside of my cabinet and some inside of the cabinet that tend to dry out fairly quickly because they're just in sphagnum moss. It doesn't hold water the same way soil does. Yeah. Hello Cleo. And so I want to make it as easy as possible for Joe's dad, who's very kindly cat sitting for us and doing a little bit of plant sitting for me as well. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible on him so he doesn't have to worry too much while I'm gone about trying to make sure things are hydrated, and I don't have to have that stress of like not being around my plants to make sure that they're okay. So my moss plants that are drying out very, very quickly lately and have decent root systems, I'm going to be putting them into soil, which will hold water a little bit better as the 2 weeks progress and kind of keep them a little bit more hydrated. And I need to pot them up anyway, so why not do it now? And then I'll be monitoring them throughout the week and making sure they're doing okay with this like transition, because it is a bit of a transition potting up propagations. I will be doing a full repot and chat video while I do it, but I wanted to show you them before and after here so you can see what's going on and I can take you through their progress throughout the week. So I'm going to set up my repotting station and get going on the repots. So these are the plants I'm going to be potting up. I have some String of Hearts Silver Glory cuttings that I want to put back into the mother plant, and hopefully it'll fill her out quite a lot better. Got this Syngonium that was an albo but reverted, and so all of these are the green cuttings, but it looks sufficiently rooted in moss, so I'm going to pot it up. So I've got this albo, which I can't see the roots on, but I'm hoping that it's similar to the other one because it's the same plant. But I'm going to put this in the albo over there, and hopefully it will like that. My Philodendron Dark Lord is ready to be potted up. Oh my goodness. Why are you growing from the bottom? What? What's going on? It's like growing from the bottom. That is so freaking weird. I'm gonna need to... Ooh. Holy cow, I just dropped it, but I caught it. I'm gonna need to properly investigate why it's doing that, because that is very, very odd. And then my Philodendron Burlemarx Variegata, which is doing so, so well. It's one I got at another plant swap, and it's super well rooted, and it's grown so many leaves, so I might actually put this one on a moss pole, because I've got one floating around at the minute, and I think it would benefit from a bit of support, because it looks like it needs it. Okay, Cleo. You're going to have to chill out. I'm trying to film. You are so bushy. Oh my god, look how bushy she is. Cleo. Do you want to play quickly? Where's your toy? You are in such a mood. I would love it if you just like passed out really quick. That'd be really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a run around and then film this repot. So I've just finished repotting some plants. I've got some back there as well, and doing pretty well. I was gonna repot that one, but I didn't in the video. I probably will just now outside of the video, but yeah, I think they're doing really well. I'm super excited to watch how this one continues growing, because like from every growth point it like splits, and so it just keeps producing more and more growth, and it's becoming so bushy. And like that's why I thought it was 2 cuttings originally, but it's just 1, and it's got such nice huge variegated leaves. So I'm very excited to see how it does on this moss pole. I think it's gonna really like it and really like something to climb. I had to pot up the Dark Lord in a bit of an odd way because of that bit coming out of the bottom, but hopefully this whole section rights itself if I put it by a grow light that's above it. So I think I'm gonna have to put this in a very special spot to hopefully make it grow the way I want it to. All tidied up. I'm gonna have some lunch now, but I think that's it for like holiday prepping for today. I'm just gonna film loads of other videos. Basically, that's my goal for this week, is to film loads and get my plants prepped for holiday. Those are the only things I need to do, so I will get them done. But yeah, I think everything that I wanted to pot up, I did, so those will be doing really well. If anything happens with any of them, I'll update you in like later in the video, but you can assume if I don't update you, then they're fine. It's all good. So it is Tuesday today. Hello, happy Tuesday. And I'm going to be doing a couple other bits and bobs today regarding my planties. One of the big ones that I want to do, it's not actually big, it's actually tiny, but like one thing I want to do, so I'm looking up at it, is I have several Hoyas, 4 Hoyas in my window in the bedroom, and during the last heat wave they were touching the window, and some of them definitely got sunburnt because of like really hot sun, which is completely fair. Plants can get sunburnt, and so I was thinking about moving them away from that home window in order to make sure that they're like not gonna get burnt further, because if we can avoid that, that would be great, especially if I'm not around to like move them on the day. So these are the plants that I want to move, and I'm gonna try and put the tension bar up here, but I need to take these down first and see if the tension bar fits. And once I've taken them down, I'll show you the sort of sunburn that occurred, unfortunately. So this is the plant that got the most burnt by the sun. You can see in there, all of that is sunburn. There's some on several leaves. I have taken off the like worst of it, but there's a lot more sunburn in there than I would like, and I'm trying to prevent that from happening again because I really love this Hoya, and although they can handle some sun, just too much is not good. And I was away during that like big super high heat wave and didn't even think to like move this out of the way, and I forgot to tell Joe, and so it wasn't ideal. But hopefully moving them out of the direct sun will help make them not be as susceptible and prevent that from happening again. This Hoya has a little bit of burn as well. It's not as bad as the other one, but there are a couple spots of burnage in there, unfortunately. So this is my tension bar, and I'm gonna try and see if it fits there, because that would be awesome. So I think that looks all right. It's definitely not ideal, but it is just temporary, and it'll hold a little bit of weight for now. Is it straight? Straight enough. So it's a little bit high to get too much from the grow light, but they'll still get some, which is really good. I'd rather them get a little bit than not enough. And it's only 2 weeks, so it's not the end of the world if they don't have loads, but it's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So it's definitely not perfect, and it's probably not a long-term solution, but I mean, I don't know. I think it looks pretty good, so maybe it is. But it'll be fine for now, and it'll be nice to just have them in a place where I know they're not going to get sunburned, and I don't have to like have that worry while I'm away. Sorry if you can hear the plane. The windows are open. So the other thing I wanted to do today is trim off any sort of yellowing leaves or dead growth on any of my plants. This is a good thing to do regularly anyways, but I want to do it before I leave because if any of that dead growth falls off into the soil, it can rot and lead to bigger issues. So I'm just going to go around making sure that everything on the plants is happy and healthy and they're in a good spot. I might go around and check for pests as well as I do that, because if there is a problem, I'd like to know before I leave. But I'm just basically going around and checking on all the plants, making sure they're doing okay. And then I'm going to water later in the week. I think I'm going to water on Friday, which is the day before I leave. I'm going to do a big mass watering because I want to do it as close to when I go away as possible. So Joe's dad, my plant sitter, doesn't have to do that much while I am gone. Might have found some thrips on my clarinervium. Kind of annoying, but I'll see if I can show you with my camera phone because it can get really close. Ew, look at that larvae. Another tiny one there. I'll be spraying with these with Provento then. Great. And this is why we check for pests. So I'm pretty sure it was only those two Anthurium and my Thai Constellation that had any thrips on them, which is amazing. Yes. So I'm just gonna go spray those off now with Provento. It is a good thing to do before you go on holiday, is check for pests and make sure that you've not got any infestations that you don't know about. And if you do notice anything, you should try and deal with it a little bit before you leave, just to like make sure that if you do have pests, it's not going to kill them while you're gone. But I mean, there's always a possibility. That's a risk we take. I mean, it could happen while you're here. Like, you never know. But hopefully you catch it early enough that you can sort it before it's like a big issue. So yeah, now I'm going to go spray my plants. Good morning. It is Wednesday today. I know, I'm really getting through this week. Just been doing so much. I feel like I've just been running around like crazy trying to get stuff ready before I go. But I just went to the supermarket and I got myself some post-it notes. And you might be thinking, why the heck did you get post-it notes, Emma? That's really weird. But I got these because I want to label my plants, kind of like high water needs, low water needs. Absolutely do not water this one if you can help it, unless it's like an absolute emergency. So I think I'm gonna go through and put these different post-it notes on the different plants. I'm also thinking about writing out some notes today, just like a bit of instructions for Joe's dad, who's gonna be looking after mostly Cleo, but also the plants and our flat while we're gone. So I'm gonna write out notes and like show him which color means which and stuff like that. Also, I should probably check the weather. What's the weather gonna be like while I'm gone? So it looks like for the most part the first 2 weeks of August look pretty mild, like in the mid 20s, or I think that's like high 70s, which is pretty nice. And as per usual in the UK, it's like at least partly cloudy every day, if not raining. Joy. So that's not ideal for my plants, but it's fine. And I think it'll be good that it's not too hot, so I won't have to worry about like there being a heat wave while I'm gone and my plants drying out super fast. I can kind of just stick to my normal schedule, which I don't really have a schedule. I do it based off of soil dryness, but my plants tend to get dry at about a week, so I'm usually watering them around then at the minute. So I think I can stick with that while I'm gone and they're not gonna hate me for it. And it'll just make it easier because I don't want to be telling Joe's dad, like, you should water this one on this day and check all the soil of all the plants. And like, that's a lot of work for someone who isn't invested in taking care of 150 houseplants. That is a whole lot of work. So I think I'm gonna try and make it easier for him and say, water these ones on Saturday, don't water these ones at all, maybe check on these ones halfway through the week if you can, if you've got the time. If not, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, right now I haven't watered most of these plants in a while. I think about a week now, and I've still got half the week to go before I water them. I think on Friday I'm gonna try and go through and give everything I possibly can a good watering. And I'm just doing that because I'd rather let my plants dry out a bit and get a tiny bit underwatered throughout this time, rather than watering them too much and having them not be ready for more water before I go, and then like in 2 days needing water and it just being a lot more stressful. So I'm letting everything dry out a little bit more to hopefully get them to all need water at the exact same time on Friday. I think I'm going to use these 3 colors and probably in this order. Blue will be water because water is blue. Pink will be don't water at all, and then yellow will be my medium step of like maybe water or water less often. I'm adding another color, green. Green means bring it to the bathroom to water it, because a couple of these don't have like cash pots, so they'll need to be watered over something that won't drip onto our carpet. need to go through everything in the cabinet and figure out what I want to do with those in there. I feel like the cabinet's the hardest place because I've got a lot of ponds, so that doesn't need to be watered, but some of it might do. I really need to think about what is the best solution for there. But for now, here's a look at all of the beautiful sticky notes throughout my collection. So I have some instructions for now. You can pause it if you fancy reading it, but basically I've indicated what the post-it notes mean on the pots, as well as like a tiny bit of information about the moss poles. Originally I was gonna ignore the moss poles and just have him just let them dry out, but I prefer to not do that if I can help it. So I'm having him mist all of the poles outside of the cabinet every 3 to 4 days. I'm gonna make sure that they're thoroughly soaked before I leave, but they'll dry up decently in a few days, and so if he's misting them with a sprayer every few days, that'll have to do. I don't want him to have to like go into the bathroom with all of them and like do my whole moss pole routine. That's a bit extra. For the poles in the cabinet, because they're in a more humid environment, they're probably not gonna dry out as fast, so I'm just gonna have him mist them once on the 9th. So basically halfway into our trip, a week after we leave. That's all I can think of for now. I'm gonna keep this about, and if I think of anything else, I'm gonna add it to it. I'm trying to figure out, because I've got several small things in pond, and those pond reservoirs dry out fairly quickly, so I'm trying to think if it'd be better to put them all in a bigger reservoir together, and they can all share that for a little while. I have like a washing up tub that I could use for that, but it's just where I'm gonna put that, because I'd like them to stay in a humid environment. I don't know. It's complicated, and I think I have to be realistic with my expectations in that things aren't gonna be perfect. Some things might die. I might come back to some dead plants. I can't expect 150 plants to live on their own without me. I mean, they've got care, but like, they've got minimum care. So yeah, I think I just need to have low expectations, not for my plant sitter. I trust Joe's parents fully to be able to do this. Like, they have houseplants, they have a garden, like they know how to take care of plants. But it's just like, I don't know. I've got a routine with my plants, and I'm gonna be breaking that routine by going away, and so some of them might not like that, and that's okay. It's okay. They're just plants. Most of them will be fine. I feel like at least 99% of them will be fine. I hope. God, that's a high statistic. That's like only losing like 1.5 plants. If I've got 150. Yeah, I think it should be okay. I think it will be fine. Right, I think that was everything on my list for today. Let me look. Yes, I've done my notes. I've checked the weather. Oh yeah, I was gonna go through and sort out my grow light situation to make sure that they're all coming at a decent time, especially if it's gonna be gray. I might put them on a little bit earlier than I normally would, maybe at like 12 or 1 instead of like 5. When it's gray, my flat is quite dark. This is like the brightest spot, and I'm sitting like in front of a window, and it's like properly gray outside. So I'm gonna put them on for a decent amount of time. So I will do that now. Good morning, friends. It's bright and freaking early. 7:30. Which isn't that early for me. I tend to wake up around now anyway. But I'm up. and Adam this morning because today is the final day before we go away. We go away tomorrow, which I'm very excited for, but I've also got a lot to do today to prep for that. I feel like the day before is kind of like not the most important day, but the critical one, the one that you're trying to aim for everything to like come together. So first things first, this morning I want to try and get my moss poles watered. That takes the longest because they need to like sit in the tub and soak and like drain out for a little while. So I think I'm gonna try and do a round before 10 a.m. which I've got a nail appointment, but I want to do around before 10 a.m. and then let that dry while I'm getting my nails done, and then after that I can just like put those back, bang out the other ones, and then while those are soaking I can do more in between. Oh. I've got a lot to do today. Today's the day, man. I was supposed to get my nails done yesterday, but I couldn't because they were messed up my booking. So now I've got to do it today, which is like not ideal. Ideally I'd have all day to like sort out my plants, but I'm like missing a chunk of 2 hours in the middle. Anyways, let's get watering. Yay! Here are all my moss poles from the cabinet. I feel like I just constantly have tons of moss poles in the cabinet now, which is fine, but it's a lot of work to take them out to water them. Worth it, but it's still a lot of work. So I've got all of them watered with the mosquito bit solution. I'm just gonna let them sit until I get back from my nail appointment. Essentially it's like 3 hours at this point, which is a lot of time, but also half the time I leave them for overnight anyways, so like what does it matter? So yeah, I'm gonna do that. While I wait, I'm going to fill up the reservoirs on all of my pond plants, like to the highest they can go, like get them to the max, and like just make sure that they've got enough water, because I don't think any of the big ones will need refilling in like the 2 weeks that we're gone. I think that'll be fine, because now I'm just like, you don't need to water them, they're already full, easy peasy, don't worry about it. This is why I love pond. Reason number 5,723. Cool. Let's fill some reservoirs, baby. Figured out what I wanted to do with all of my small plants in pond that have like very small little water reservoirs, because I've got several small plants, and I remembered that I finished my box of pond. This is where I would like rinse and drain it all and have it be like ready to use, but it can be a humidity box. I could basically use it like my acclimation box and just like put a layer of water at the bottom, put all the little babies in there, and then put it where I want to. And it should be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all of those in here with a bit of water on the bottom, so they're getting plenty of water, and then I can just say like, make sure the water reservoir of this box doesn't go too low, which I don't think it will, because it's like quite a big box, and because it's closed, the water doesn't really have anywhere to escape to. so hopefully it won't run out. But yeah, I think this will work really well. I'm surprised I've only just thought about this on frickin' Friday, but it should be fine. So I'm going to do that now. Let's gather up all my small pond plants. I think this is gonna work really well, actually. So everything's got a bit of water, and these are a bit tall, unfortunately, but I can't make them any smaller, so it'll have to do. There you can see the water level is like pretty decent. It goes about like a third to halfway up the smaller pots, but I just think it's perfect. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. This is great. And I've now decided I'm going to do something similar with my small plants in just moss, especially the ones in the cabinet, because they're not ready to be potted up yet. Oh, P.S. all of the things I potted up, doing completely fine. I can show you them a little bit later if I run into them while I'm watering and stuff. But I'm going to do similar, because I've got my like Elho, like essentially propagation box, but it's got a tray under it, so I might just like put all of the small ones in moss in here, and then have this on to keep the humidity, and then like just fill it up a little bit with water, just a tiny bit, just so it's covering the bottom of the tray so they stay moist. And then I can say to Joe's dad, make sure that it doesn't like run out of water, or like make sure the moss doesn't get dry. Oh, the moss plants stress me out the most. I feel like pond, fine, that you get a water reservoir of soil, they'll be fine, that's like pretty normal. And then it's like, here's some plants in moss, this medium that you've never used before. Yay! So hopefully that works. And if it doesn't, I might lose some props, but it's just how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? So I've just gotten home from getting my nails did. A little sagey green with a little vine in the middle. Cute, long, feels weird to have acrylic skin, but I like them, so. Feel pretty. But I've just put all of my plants from the cabinet, the poles that were in the bathtub, into the cabinet again, and now I'm going to essentially do the exact same thing with the poles outside of the cabinet. I don't really feel like I need to show you that because I've literally just done it, so it's, imagine the same thing again. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now, and then again leave them for like 3 hours just to soak through, get nice and damp, be nice and watered, and then put them back in their places. And then I need to go through, water what's in the cabinet, tab up all the plants in there so Joe's dad knows which ones to water and which ones not to. And I nearly freaking forgot I need to water everything that's in soil outside of the cabinet because I've only done the pond stuff. So yes, I'll do that again while the moss poles are soaking, because then I've got time. have just finished watering all of my freaking plants. I'm so tired. But yes, I've watered all of my plants and everything is good to go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I can wake up tomorrow morning and go. I mean, we still have to pack and like clean the house and do all that stuff, but like that's not something you need to see in this video. So all of my plant care is done. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what I do to prepare for going on holiday, having a bajillion plants. Yes, I hope you find this video helpful and enjoyable to watch, even if you already know what you're doing when it comes to holidays. Hopefully you enjoyed just watching me go about my plant care. But yeah, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below and comment on other houseplantey things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!